Right, okay, so as I said earlier on, the whole concept of this idea is we've split a lot of fighters down into their weight classes. So obviously middleweight's just middleweight, there's just one weight in middleweight, one weight in welter, so on and so forth. Right, okay?
Old school weights.
So what I've done in this, there's only one fighter who I've had to squeeze a weight in, which I mentioned, which was
Tom
Hart, the big fella. He's a light heavy, and I've had to squeeze him into cruisers, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to be part of this conversation. And the guys who have mixed them in with, obviously your view will come in and we'll see who's winning it. So what we're dealing with here today, we've got 4 cruiserweights, technically 3 cruiserweights in the light heavy. We've got Jay Farrell, we've got Nathan Quarless, we've got Craig Glover, and we've got Tom Hart. Sure. So the first fight we're going to match up, we've got Jay Farrell, and he's going to be facing Nathan Quarless. Right. Fantasy fight. Foz, as our boxing expert, these 2 guys are going to fight. Tell me who wins, who loses, and why.
Let me start by saying Nathan's got a quality amateur background. Brought through at the Solly under the guidance of the Solly boss, as he's known, Alan Lynch. Jay Farrell turned over and is with Danny Kelly and Sean Trodden over in Birkenhead at the Venture. 2 top lads. It's a cracking scrap. I might put a word into Steve Wood tomorrow actually to get that one made for a show in September at the Olympia. But it's a cracker that. Like I think Nathan just edges it at the moment, purely based on grounding. Jay's a big puncher, very big puncher. You know he's not quite a few out. Jay
71% KO percentage there. So.
Someone's done the research.
Well, he's 4th in Liverpool, just to give us some perspective. He's got the 4th highest KO rate in Liverpool.
Alright, Scott, Jesus Christ.
I'm working with you, Foz. Come on, you wanted some back and forth, lads. I couldn't keep up with your knowledge wise, so I had to write some notes.
No, but listen, great scrap. It's one that I think Nathan edges right at this moment. However, I feel like Jay's more than him with a shout in that fight, and it would be interesting to see whether that one does come to fruition at some point in future.
So there you have it first. So the first semi-final's over and done with. We have Nathan Quarless taking his feet in the final. Right, okay, semi-final 2, Mr. Foz, Mr. Yang. We have Anthony's boss man, the big fella Craig Glover. He's going to be going up against the young up-and-coming light heavyweight who have had to move in Tom Hart. Who wins, what way, how?
I'll let Yang have this one.
I like getting paid, Craig wins.
That's Andy's shit-housery response. With a bit of technical information behind it, Foz.
I like money. Yeah, no, I do. I like money. I won't like Craig and I'll pay right.
So come on then, Foz. We've got the big fella Craig Glover.
The gym mates doesn't happen.
But that's a fantasy fight.
The gym mates, it doesn't happen.
I know it doesn't happen, but on our show it's happening. We have to get a winner because the poor fella Nathan can't fight the 2 gym mates together because that would be a mismatch. So what we've got to put your neck on the line using it all.
I think we're at a point certainly in Craig's career where it is slightly make or break now. You know, he's 9-2. He lost on points to Jake Bonnelly on the undercard of Tony Belly's first fight against David Hay at the O2 Arena a couple of years ago, and then of course he was knocked out quite badly against Vaclav Pazar last time out at the M&S Bank Arena, and I think we'll get to a point now where Glover's got to sort of realise his ambitions and understand where he wants to go, at what level he wants to sort of reside. Do you know what I mean? Because yeah, okay, with Bellew backing him and all that, there's plenty of like bulk and bump there, but you can't. You're getting it by 16 stone heavyweight. And Pazar is a heavyweight, he's not a cruiserweight. Getting it by heavyweights and getting stopped like 6 or so months after putting on the best performance of your career. and win an English title eliminator against Simon Vallely, who's a former Commonwealth Games medalist. You know, it swings and roundabouts, and I feel like for Craig now he's got to sort of understand within himself where he wants to be definitely before he returns on July the 12th. I think there's got to be some sort of, like, I don't want to say reality check, but reality check.
Okay.
You know, I think on the other hand, Tom, he's 1-0 now. We'll be looking to go 2-0 on July the 6th, by the way, at Manchester Arena, exclusively live on Sky Sports and DAZN, on the undercard of a show that will be headlined by Joshua Buatsi, Brian Rose against Anthony Fowler's conqueror Scott Fitzgerald, and Lawrence Okoli against Jack Massey for the British and Commonwealth Cruiserweight titles, also on that show. Again, we're back in the Cruiserweight division there, aren't we?
I find like you're avoiding this. I need to know who's going to win for us.
I'm not avoiding it. I'm not avoiding it at all. I think.
So, bear in mind, Craig doesn't pay your wages.
I just
dance.
I just think it's a difficult one, because both fighters are at completely different stages in their careers.
Just say Craig wins and I'm off Pop World. What will happen then?
Obviously, Craig's got the experience behind him.
The experience is there, but again, Tom's had that GB background.
I was just about to say, Tom's he's boxed in the World Series of Boxing.
But we've seen the GB background with the Liverpool fighters doesn't necessarily, you know, have to mean all that. Sorry, you've got to say GB captain Tom Stalker.
No, you are right. Like, I think,
you know, wearing a GB vest doesn't necessarily guarantee a decent pro career or pro career.
No, you're dead right. However, I think we've seen enough from Tom in his debut to be able to understand that he's going to have a good solid career in the pro game.
Okay.
But right at this moment, because I can see Sconnor's getting really itchy on this,
got a final to match up.
Right at this moment, I've got to say Craig wins that fight.
So, our final now, we've got Nathan Quarless matching up against the big fella Craig Glover. We've given them a couple of hours to get the breath back, get some water in them. Going to go down the Matchroom's prize fighter style. So
we've given them a couple of hours
just to get the legs back, do whatever they need to do. So here we are at the final. We've got Craig Glover stepping in the ring, taking on Nathan Quarless. Where do we go? Who's the champion?
It's one of them. It's a good solid scrap. Again, you'd have to say with experience, you'd have to go with Glover, but again, it's one that Nathan definitely is out of.
Okay. So Craig Glover now is the House of Scouse, Cruiserweight King of Liverpool for the Cruisers.
All day.
So we finish with that. So Craig, have you seen that on the telly? Have you seen him on Facebook?
I'll find you this one.
He's got something coming your way. So yeah, this will be next week. We'll have another weight class. We'll have another fancy match-up, and we'll push Foz, whether the gym mate, best mates, brothers, cousins, uncles, nans, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll push him for an answer. So as I say, I rely heavily on Foz's knowledge, and I'm going to rely heavily on Foz's opinion on that. He's our boxing expert.
House of Scouse. House of Scouse. House of Scouse Television.
House of Scouse Television.